Writer's block isn't just for writers. It's kind of a blanket term, in my opinion, applying to everything we do and plaguing us at all the worst times. Anytime you're trying to create something, it can hit, and it's never an easy thing to solve. I've come across it in everything I've ever tried to do creatively at some point or another, and I know you probably have too. But I think sometimes we forget that our creativity extends past art and classically creative endeavors. It's easy to say, I got writer's block on a short story or a song that I'm writing, or even coming up with new ideas for videos in my most recent endeavors. But what about when we get stuck at work or something unexpected happens during our day? When things happen outside of creative works that require creativity, we never seem to get caught up. Why is that? Why is it different from more art focused creativity? They're both tapping the same creativity wells, aren't they? Or are they? Maybe creativity is multifaceted or tiered even. Maybe surface level creativity that we use throughout our day is a different source than what we draw on for actual creative works. And it kind of makes sense, right? Being creative with a schedule or a spreadsheet feels a lot different than writing a story or painting a landscape. But maybe they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Maybe we can learn to use some of the surface level creativity strategically to help out the deeper levels of it. And I think we already do, and I think that's part of why we get writer's block in the first place, in which case it's just a matter of honing it into a skill rather than being stopped by it. What I'm talking about is that when our deeper creativity dries up for the day or week or whatever amount of time it might be, we're trying to replace it with the one that's meant for quick fixes, the day-to-day, real-world, spontaneous type of creativity, not the deep creativity that's required for art-level creative works. And this is completely unintentional, but think about when you've written the same paragraph over and over a dozen times, or the same verse slightly different, but it just still doesn't work, or you get caught up on a particular aspect of a drawing or whatever it is that you're doing. You've been there before. It's almost like we're trying to force creativity like it's something critical, like it's a matter of life or death. We're treating it like it's a job with a deadline, not a project that's meant to express ourselves. We're trying to force our surface level creativity onto it when it's a completely different application, a different purpose, but it doesn't have to be. If we're aware that this is happening, what if we simply refocused that surface level creativity on what it does best? Brainstorming ideas, identifying and solving logistics of the problems that we're stuck on, thinking so far out of the box that the box itself becomes a different shape. Going off onto mental tangents is often a really good way to generate new ideas, and those new ideas can spawn off into a whole slew of different things that you weren't expecting, and that can suddenly reinvigorate that deeper creativity well. I think a lot of times we get too caught up in what we want something to look or sound like. We have this vision that's so complete and static because we've thought about it for so long, we've visualized it, we've seen it. We're so convinced that there's a way to shape the rest of the world to match this vision that we actually stop trying to create. Some of the best stories I've ever written came out of when I scrapped entire chapters and started over, and same with the songs I've written. I've spent months working on a course only to scrap the entire thing because eventually I came up with a new riff that just fit it a lot better. If I had let myself think outside of the limited conditions and expectations I had set for that piece, I would have been finished weeks earlier. And why can't this flow the other way too? What happens when we apply that deep creativity to our day-to-day lives, creating a static, complete, uncompromising vision of what we want our life to look like? That can help to physically manifest it. If you're working towards this ultimate end goal of whatever it is you're doing, that gives you more determination to see it through, aided of course by the day-to-day creativity. So my challenge to you is this: next time you have writer's block, if you feel completely stuck, first go take a break, but come back and start brainstorming, not about whatever it is you're stuck on, but about literally anything else. Just write down every single idea that comes to your mind and start branching off of those ideas. Eventually, you might land on something that gets you past your block, something where your deep level creativity sparks back to life and takes over. Don't limit it, don't think about it. Storyboarding and planning and visualizing is good to a certain extent and for certain things, but when you can let your deep creativity intermingle with that surface level creativity, then maybe that's when the deep creativity just starts to flow. And that's when your ideas can take on true life. And life isn't exciting because it's planned, it's exciting because it happens. Get yourself to that place and see what happens. Thanks so much for hanging out today. I truly do appreciate it. Please do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really does mean the world to me and lets the algorithm know that this video is worth the next person's attention. Until next time, take care.